Hello.
All right. Wow.
Do you remember how to do this?
No, not
Yep.
a clue. How quickly my brain decided to overwrite all of this.
Yep. We're back.
We're back. All right.
Not sure whether that was a warning or
I know. It sounded like that
a little bit scary there.
scary movie. It's perfect for Halloween, right? We're
Right?
back.
We're almost to Halloween.
We are. October should just be all scary.
All scary all the time.
All the time.
You betcha.
Feels scary.
Yeah. So,
totally out of practice.
between your 2 weeks off and then we had a week in between and then my week off, that was a week and a half off.
Yeah.
Neither one of us are in sync, I don't think.
Nope. It's been it's been busy and crazy.
Are these new? I don't remember those. You've got like polka
No.
dots. I don't remember seeing those. Multicolored polka dots.
Yeah, it's like paint splatters.
Yeah.
Sort
they
of.
go with all of your colors.
My
I
colors,
just don't remember seeing that. I bought some I bought the black sparkles and I bought like black camo that'll be with the black, because I wear a lot of black. I needed some just black. So I've got those coming.
Yeah.
So, hello.
Hi.
Mom. Hi, Karen. So yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to get after you've been gone for a
little bit.
It's hard to get back in the swing of things, isn't it?
It is. And when you take it, it's been like a month between the two of us. It's not been normal for a while. It's been weird. So, and we've had a lot going on, and we have a lot going on.
I know. The schedule for the sewing expo, it's up. So we are going to be live on the stage 3 times.
Oh.
One on each day.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah. I was like, I had a list of things that I wanted to tell you, and I didn't make it through all of them.
No, we didn't get that far, did we?
No, we got sidetracked this morning.
No, we have definitely not made it through the list of questions and answers
No.
and hey, did you knows and
But we're here today. We're going to do, like if you've never taken a Kimberbell event, you don't know like how cute it is and how much fun it is.
The things are, or, a lot of them are similar to things that you can do on your own separately. So it's a different pattern.
Yep.
But like they'll say, okay, we're going to do this. But if you really liked it, you can do X, Y, and Z very similarly by buying this pack and that pack and so on and so forth. Today we're going to go a little bit outside of the norm.
Yeah.
And we're going to show you how to stitch a stuffie.
And a Kimberbell Stuffie, which is a little different than everybody else's stuffies.
Just a little bit. But
I know, right? I'm hopeful that maybe they'll do some of these because they're super cute.
They are.
And a lot of times they start in events to
see how it goes and what people's opinions and take on their specific things are, and then they'll either that or a Bella box. That's where things kind of get tested.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So I was very pleased on the ease of the stitch out when I did the stitch out itself, and so we're going to show you how to do them. But there are some other companies that do these as well. So this isn't like something that
it's not exclusive to Kimberbell
by any stretch of the imagination. So one of the companies that we carry designs of, we didn't happen to have a design of theirs in our personal repertoire of goodies that we could just grab.
Kind of a shocker.
Yeah, we both were like, wow, I can't believe we don't have that one. Out of the very long list of things that we own, neither of us had these. Though I wouldn't mind owning.
They were cute.
Some of them, but the idea of them is very similar, just different product that they use to make them, kind of things. So, what a stuffie is basically a little 3D with a fiber fill or whatever you use. You could use little pieces of batting. You can use poly beads, all kinds of different things to give you the ability for it to stand up and fluff it out.
And if you don't want it to stand out because you want it to be more like a stuffed
Little
animal,
stuffed animal,
you don't have to put that piece in. This one's probably a little small for a stuffed animal unless you were little.
Yeah.
So I could see like the cat, like this would be with little catnip or the cat would really
totally do that.
Yeah, they would totally dig that. My cat is in love with a fish right now. Oh. She just shoots it all around. It's quite hysterical. You look over and there's like a fish flying.
We bought a lot of pet toys on our trip, and My grand dog.
Yes.
I love my daughter watching her. Her dog shredded every toy we brought into the house, and the stuffing went everywhere. And as soon as he would ruin one, we'd go to the store and buy another one and come back in and give it to him. And then he'd shred that one, and the stuffing would go everywhere. And then we'd go buy another one, and we'd come back. I think he went through 4 or 5 before we left. And she was just like, we had fun.
That's what it's supposed to be like, right?
So, yeah, we enjoyed the watching him tear them apart, and he was very, very cute. He's definitely still a puppy, and he shredded all of the stuff all over the place.
Yeah.
But,
so you could make stuffies for your animals?
We could totally do
Or
that.
kids or grandkids or nieces,
Absolutely.
nephews, anybody?
So the one we're going to do today is made with felt. Velveteen would be, I think, a neat option. I would actually like to, we talked about maybe subbing that in,
Yeah.
but then I thought, well, maybe doing that live is the way to test out the new thing. So I'm going to try that on my own and see how it goes, because I think that would be
Cute.
really very sharp. So I'm going to test that one out. But OESD is the other company that we keep hedging around, but we didn't actually say
it.
who it was. And they have their Minky. So like a Shannon fabric or that real fuzzy, soft stuff. And theirs are the Minky Monsters and the Tag.
And like, yeah, they're like animals with like little ribbon tags.
The
So
ribbon-
like sensory
Exactly. Yep.
something. Yeah, there's
Yep.
probably a
little
better.
toys for the little ones with the little ribbon tags that are that you chew on or pull on or whatnot. So lots of options for those, but those are made generally with that real soft versus a felt or a velveteen. So a little bit different.
We probably could make it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
Make it with whatever you would like, assuming anyways. I haven't tried that because I didn't own those yet,
Right.
but might own that soon. But we don't carry that Shannon and Minky stuff here, so that wasn't going to be in our repertoire of stuff.
so cuddly, but it's
it is
just so
wonderful
messy.
when it's done and it's sewn into the project. The prep and the getting it into said project is not always a lot of fun.
Right.
It is
You're-
exhausting, and the cleanup project is like,
That's right. It doesn't matter what day you do it. It will be the day that you wear black, the sticky type of black, the type that catches everything.
catches everything.
And then you'll look like you were like
Rolling in it.
rolling in it. Yeah, or you just walked out into one of those like dandelion poof ball storms.
Exactly. That's exactly what it's like. Yep. So we're going to be stitching with felt.
Yes, because it won't be like that.
It's kind of like the velveteen times a million.
Yeah.
Way worse.
Way worse. Yeah.
Way worse.
All right.
So that's what we're going to do.
And
But
this is from the North
This is.
Pole event. So a lot of you guys, if you don't take an event, you never really see how something stitches out. So this is super secret.
super secret. We're going to show how it's done. Obviously, you guys know, you don't, just for watching, you don't get the files that
No.
we stitch. So we're not breaking any rules
No,
or
we're not.
anything, showing you how this is done. At this time, from Kimberbell, this is the only way to get these files is to take the event. So that is coming up next week. But I just did the test stitch, and I was like, these are really cute. And with Christmas coming, and the idea behind the North Pole is it's used as a home decor piece. It's not used necessarily as a gift for a kid or babies, and it's literally for a decoration. You can use it however you want, but the idea behind the North Pole is home decor.
Right.
But you could use it however you would like.
You could. I mean, and if you really liked the person that you were going to gift, you could give them seasonal things to put on their trays. That stuff is so popular right now.
Absolutely.
We saw, I was at Target the other day, and they have little things that you can, like trees and all kinds of things in their little Target spot
Absolutely.
that you can fill up your little trays with. So it's super hot right now.
Trays in general, I think, are
Yeah.
pretty hot right now. So there's a lot of options for those. We just happen to be making all of our things for our tray in the North Pole.
Yep.
So fortunately, it's not very cold in the North Pole right now.
No.
we're doing all right. Me with no sleeves.
Right? I know.
Hey.
So we are going to start with some no-show mesh. Is that correct?
That is correct. So
All
this is that lightweight cutaway. You don't need anything. You actually don't want a heavy cutaway. You want to be able to manipulate it and have it move easy. So not the heavy cutaway. That is definitely not the route that you want to go on these.
So there we go. We have cutaway in.
That's what's in there.
That's
I
what's in?
just have white thread based on the design that we're doing. We're going to do the Santa Claus stuffie, not the Mrs. Claus. This one's a little bit faster, which is kind of the name of the game on Tuesdays.
Yes.
We don't like to take too long, so there's a little bit less work in this guy here. So the first color that's going to show is white, so that's why I am threaded there. So if we're going to get started, is there anything else you want to talk about before we go?
We start by building from the top.
We build, so we're going to build the Santa part first. So literally stitch out the placement line for where to place our first piece. And that's how it rolls. I was surprised. Oops. That was a surprise.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're going to really oops it.
I just, like, oops, I ripped open the bag and they went everywhere.
Oops, I didn't get mine. Oops, I did it again.
And again, and again. So that line is up there. So this is just red felt, which this is Kimberbell felt. Nothing fancy there, just the typical very good quality felt, but nothing crazy. It's not super thick or anything like that. And we're going to tack that down. So I found out after stitching the sample, this line is going to actually be your cut line later on. I didn't know that at the beginning because I hadn't gotten that far, but when all is said and done, this will be your cut line later on. So I was a little concerned. I'm like, oh, is it going to turn and that's going to show, or it won't. So no worries.
That makes it easier if
makes
you can
it
see
nice and easy with that nice bright white in there. So this is that tack down that shows exactly where that's going to be. So with that, we do want to trim off the excess. So we're going to get rid of.
You're going to go over there and
I'm going to go over here.
And if you were working at this project with us for an event, oftentimes we don't stitch live with you, but we do pre-recorded videos, and we'll show the piece in the part. That way we can either talk through, or we can fast forward through a part that maybe isn't super important, and or pause on a piece that might be, and we can rewind and replay if we need to.
Absolutely. Yep.
You know, when you are doing embroidery, once it's done, it's done. So, but that's typically what we do for our Kimberbell events, is we have these projects recorded, and then the advantage of that is while we don't necessarily record the whole event, in case you don't really want to just listen to us say the same things over and over again, you can replay the videos as many times as you want, because you will get those. So if you make another one later on down the road, or
and you go, yeah, I don't remember how to do blah blah blah.
Yeah, you don't.
You can just pull up that video.
Yeah, or maybe you have I can't imagine that anybody would have an unfinished project.
Oh no, gosh no, nobody does that.
But I know some days I remember what I'm doing, and some days I do not, and it is nice to go back and have that video.
We're just getting rid of the excess. It doesn't have to be really pretty, because again, this is not actually part of the design. You just want to get rid of the bulk extra. So this next part is going to be just placement lines again. So we're just gonna stitch again.
It looks like maybe his beard,
that
or
is,
or the face.
We're gonna do the face next.
Face first, okay.
Yep. Face first. Plant face first. Boom. So I laughed at myself, because as I'm making the video, when I was doing, because that's what I do, I just record myself making the samples, and then, you know, edit out all of my yabbering and whatnot. You know, I always just cover up and I center, you know, and then I'm like, I could have gotten 2 out of that. I could have made 2 out of that piece of fabric. So yes, you can sometimes, you know, Kimberbell is in general very generous with their fabrics. And then they have these weird, wow, there wasn't barely enough of anything there. So you just never know. This one you could technically get 2 out of.
Yeah. I think from kit making experience, it probably has more to do with
how the fabric
how you could
is
cut
divided
the fabric.
out.
Mhm.
Right, absolutely. It's just funny because, you know, having taught enough Kimberbell things, usually there's plenty. And then you get that one, and it's always the one you really needed the extra.
Like a
That
border
everybody's
or
like,
something.
why isn't there extra? It's like,
Because it didn't
because
mathematically
it didn't
work
mathematically work out is exactly right. So now we're going to just trim off again the extra. This does have a fusible backing on just to make sure that there is a nice solid color here. This is his face, not goggles, which is what it kind of looks like. This is one of the Kimberbell Solids fabric, which isn't super thick. So you would possibly see some red coming through of that felt. So it is
Yeah, we use that as a color blocker.
it is a nice color block option there, and it gives it just a little, it's not going to take a whole lot of stitches later on, but it does give us a nice bold color in there. So we are now going to do the beard.
Placement for the beard,
Placement
right?
for the beard, yeah.
Because it's an applique too.
Yeah. Got a couple placement pieces. So again, this first part literally is just making Santa look like Santa. So we're going to tack that guy down. And instead of running around this twice, it does a triple stitch. So I'm not sure which is actually faster. I've never timed it, but from a digitizing aspect, do you know what an advantage of a triple stitch versus doing 2 running stitches is?
It won't pull in. Sometimes when you do that second running stitch, it's really not on top of it, so the thread
So you
falls
don't
on
get
either
the-
left or right.
That makes sense.
So you could potentially stitch
Get
through
2
it.
lines and not have them line up on top of one another and have
And-
some shifting.
Yep, and then it would be easier to snip through the line where it's
That
really
makes
hard to
perfect
stitch
sense.
through. It's really hard to cut
Screw this part up.
A triple stitch. I mean,
That
it's
makes
possible,
perfect sense.
but
All
you
right.
have to work hard at it.
So yet again, I'm just removing. So this is going to show, and these are a raw edge. So you do want to make it pretty. So whatever you want that finished look to be is what you're trimming here.
And slow cuts, right? Not lots of little choppy cuts.
Right.
Because it's really hard to clean it up later.
It is. Fortunately, felt is a pretty forgiving fabric because it kind of poofs a little bit when you let
When
it
you
go.
cut it, yep.
So it does, but try to take your curves kind of in a solid go around instead of choppy. You'll probably be a little happier with it. Something hard in the felt right there. Didn't want to cut. I like that this is not completely symmetrical. It makes it more realistic.
Yeah.
All right, so there's the beard. Now we're going to have the fuzz portion of the hat. Placement line, and then we'll tack that down. We could probably go a little slower, huh?
Right. We can show some of our Block of the Month fabrics that are slowly coming in.
Yes. So
And talk about Digital Dealer coming tomorrow.
Digital Dealer,
Classes.
this is probably one of my favorite bags that they've come up with.
It's so cute.
It is very, very sharp. The design is very darling. Very excited about it. All right, so we're going to completely cover those guys up and tack them down. I really need to get my nails done.
Me too.
I am an absolute disaster. I felt like every day another portion of another nail fell off and broke somewhere. It was like, ugh. But
And how many are these in the event? Is it just Mr. and Mrs.?
Mr. and Mrs. are the Stuffies, yes.
Okay.
So Mrs. is a little bit more involved. She's got an apron. She's
wearing
got her
clothes.
hair. She's got ribbons for the ties on her apron. I mean, it's a little bit more involved. So, and I haven't actually done the sample yet, so I don't know all of the steps without reading. So where this one I've already done, so it's a little bit smoother, you know. But so
You can really see the definition of the circle and the hat all of a sudden.
yeah.
You know, sometimes it's so hard to see, but yeah, it swooshed around that felt very nicely.
I can't express enough having the right tools for the job. If you have scissors, I don't know if you guys noticed, I swapped scissors partway. Those scissors were dull, and I was not getting the cuts that I wanted. And again, when you have raw applique, raw edged, if your cuts aren't what you're looking for, you're not going to be happy with the final, no matter how good of a trimmer you are. You're just going to be frustrated with how things end up. So, all right. So that is the completion of all the little bits of the white applique that are going to be shown. Just a little bit. Oh, hang on just a sec.
Oh, we got one more.
Well, I found this out when I was stitching.
Okay.
The next one, not this one, but the next one is also white.
Oh, okay.
So rather than
You
swapping
wanna-
all the way around, we can jump and then move back. Because I find that super duper annoying. So if you can jump forward one. We've got his eyebrows that are also in white. Good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're just going to jump forward a stitch here and stitch his eyebrows in the white thread before we change thread. It's just slightly
Out of order.
out of order, but in my opinion, that's how I sew. I don't know about you, but I generally look and think, you know, is there something I can stitch that I don't have to do another thread change with? Wow, that was dark. Here we are making Santa Claus.
Good
And
luck getting through that hallway.
all right, so now we're going to back up and stitch his rosy little cheeks. That is just going to be right above the beard.
I am on his cheeks, right? No, did I go the wrong way?
You should be on number 9.
Now I am. And like those look like they're in his eyes.
All right. Okay, little bit of, little bit of cheek blush here. Give him a little bit. A little bit of color. All right, so now we need to jump forward and go to number 11 and stitch his rosy nose. So he was hanging out with Rudolph. Either that or he's got a cold. Or
his
he was
nose is
out
so
in the
bright?
cold because his nose is very red. It does look cute. I contemplated, I'm like, do I want him to have this red of a nose? But it's cute. He's a very cute Santa, though.
He is a cute Santa.
All right, so here's his nose. So what do you think? Is he hanging out with Rudolph? Does he have a cold? Or is he cold?
Maybe, let's go with he's cold.
He's cold?
He hasn't had his cocoa yet.
Hasn't had the cocoa. Okay. Yeah, I think I need to go to like Joann's or somewhere and get like greenery to put around our piece. What do you think?
I think that would be cute.
All right, nose, check. So now we need dark gray for his eyes. I thought Santa had blue eyes, but
Nope.
not
He's
today.
gray.
He's got gray, smoky eyes.
This spike TikTok. Oh. Sandra says Santa has been naughty.
I like it. Very possible. He's such a cute little guy. All right, so the next stitch out is actually like the longest thing that we've got. I just have to get that little thing off there.
I suspected as much.
When I grabbed the scissors, you knew where I was going with that, didn't you?
Exactly where you were going. Yep.
Like, I can't handle it.
I did not think that enough time had passed for you to have.
You're like, I see Lisa's twitching over there. Can't handle it. So
Call you threads.
right. As long as it has a Z. Didn't we do that at one? Oh, that was our thread kit we talked about.
Yeah.
Right? All right, so this is the belt, which is like a 4-minute. It does a big, wide fill stitch. You know, you gotta have that big belt to hold up that
That big belly.
that big belly. That's right.
Yep.
Just like Gino's. See, he's got that going on over there.
Do you want to come model that over here?
I don't think they want.
Yeah, well,
Why don't you help her make some scrap bags?
nope, he says nope. Did we get anything done today that we wanted to get done today?
I got an email sent and 2 Zoom links and 2 StreamYard things started. I got 4 things done, but all of that was basically before the store opened. That counts, right?
Sure. And everything I get done is going to be after the store closes.
So it counts, right? Oh, man. So tomorrow we have our digital dealer.
Yes.
That is super cute. It is going to be the Aaron crossbody bag. I think the kit is down there, so they could you can show them.
And I was like, what?
What did Hayden put for us?
What did he write down?
So
So
it's
these
super
are the fabrics,
cute.
which are like right up my alley,
They
number
are,
one.
yeah.
And so that was super, super cute. So
I know. You should be very worried when there are thumbtacks involved. Those are big thumbtacks.
they are. I guess maybe I need to read those instructions.
Neither of us have done that yet.
Yep, better read those instructions tonight. I don't remember using thumbtacks on a bag before. Maybe it's based on hoop size.
Could be. We'll know in a little while. Kathy.
Kathy, I saw that and I was like,
You know what?
I was like, I thought
That's not what it says.
That's not what it says. But that's what I thought it said. I looked down and I was like,
That's a weird thing to be
That's
substituted.
an odd substitution.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so digital dealer tomorrow. The StreamYard is already posted.
Yep.
The video, 9:30 tomorrow. There's a link to the designs and the kits. We still have some kits. You can get designs anytime. So we've got that going on tomorrow. And then we both have classes tomorrow.
We do.
So table runner and lace tomorrow and Saturday. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
For sure.
And yep.
And then
that's tomorrow.
And then Saturday.
Repeating
And
the
same
classes.
2 classes.
Yep.
Yep. And then next week you have this event.
North Pole. Yeah.
And then the week after, we are going to be at the Sewing Expo.
I cannot believe
And
it.
I feel like it's already here. Like
We're gonna blink.
right? I mean, I know that there's an entire 2 weeks in between the time that we set up and
My
now.
biggest problem, I swear, it was really easy to get on the wrong time.
It'll get back
I
on.
can't get back. I don't know
What time it is?
what time it is. My body does not know what time it is. I go home and I'm like, it's time to still do stuff. I can't go to bed.
Ugh.
And so I go to bed and I'm staring at the ceiling and I'm like, yeah, this is no good. So I can't fall asleep. And I spent a week and a half in either mountain or, not.
Karen asks, can you order a kit? The answer is probably yes, but I'm not sure if you're talking about, the answer really is yes to either. There is a fabric kit for the Air and Crossbody bag, and there is a kit for the North Pole event.
Yep.
So yes, we just need to know what you want.
Yep. So FYI, when it comes to Kimberbell events, one of the things that really changed with COVID is it used to be you had to come to the store and participate in the event to get your kit. They would not let us send them. I mean, it was like a big no-no. You had to.
And now it's like the Wild West.
It is totally the Wild West. It is, virtual is obviously an option because that was the only thing that we could do. And so you can take an event from anywhere. And because a event is virtual option, if you log into the Zoom class, great. If you don't, there's really not anything anybody can say or do. So if you really just want a kit, you can certainly do that. One nice thing that I think we do is we do provide you with those videos. So even if you don't take the class and because the dates aren't good for you or whatever, you have a walkthrough for all of those projects at your convenience that you can use. So we're going to do a little gold buckle here.
She did say crossbody bag. But
I see that.
yes. And you're going to email me. So if you email me the stuff, if you would like, I can add that on to your order.
Yep. So I love this color. It looks metallic,
but it's not.
But it is not. This is just a standard exquisite thread, but it is gorgeous. It stitches really, really pretty.
It stitches out pretty. It doesn't look
that great on the spool.
It kind of looks like gray poupon.
It kind of does, but it stitches very,
Really
very pretty. Ready? Zoom. Look at that. Isn't that pretty?
But look it up here. It's not that cute. But it is cute.
But it stitches really, really nice. It's got just that perfect rich gold color. So it stitches out super, super nice.
Yeah. It
So-
stitches out much prettier.
Than what the
than
spool
it
looks
is.
like.
And
All
this
right.
is ES 616.
Which again is exquisite. We're gonna put the red back in because we are now going to add the, can I have that back?
This one? Yep. Okay.
I gotta keep all these
You
together.
keeping those over there? Okay.
Yeah. I'm afraid I'm gonna sneeze. I apologize ahead of time if I sneeze right in the microphone. I'm trying not to, but you know how well that works sometimes. All right, so the next thing, now that we have Santa stitched out, so he looks like Santa, right? We need to know where to place our backing pieces. So this is just going to do little lines that tells us where to put stuff down.
This way you don't have to guess.
You don't, because you'd probably guess wrong.
That never happens.
And again, we put back the red in. This particular stitch wouldn't really matter because it's not part of the design, but the next two will, if there's any pulling on the felt, this way it will blend in and work out nicely. So we've got 2 pieces, and of course, just like every other design that they
Zoom out just a
do. Oh, I can
tad.
totally do that.
There we go.
The sizes that are needed are given to you in the instructions. So I'm going to line up the pieces right on that line, and it's now going to tack that down. Here's the big surprise. Everybody ready? It tells me to tape them down. Not gonna.
Shocker.
I thought you would be shocked.
I'm so shocked.
So this is going to now do that outline around everything.
So it really tacks it down.
This is really, yep, and that's that triple stitch that we had talked about. So a little bit different there. Again, it's not a double line. And because it is not going back and forth, I don't really have to worry about my foot being caught on that particular piece. On the next guy, it is going to stitch again the lines. So I am not trimming any of the fabrics. I'm just going to see where I'm going to stitch. It's going to stitch where I'm going to place, excuse me, the bottom piece of backing.
And we don't need to worry about any folded edges or anything because the felt doesn't unravel.
Right.
So it makes a nice raw edge back so they can overlap, or
Yep.
you can hand stitch, or you can
So
glue. Or...
in the instructions of this, it has that little thingy that looks like a whip stitch or something. I'm not
That
familiar with how
four-letter word.
that 4-letter word. Absolutely. So on this one, it does show you taping those edges down and taping the center so that your foot doesn't get caught. I did do that because I wasn't sure, of course, where the path was going to go on the, was it going to drag? Was it going to go above? And not knowing, it's always better to be safe than sorry, because having that last step of your design ruin the entire rest of your design, it's no good. It's no good. So I've got that sitting there, and basically it's just going to run along. So I already know it's not really a big deal. However, I really don't recommend just winging it on that last piece. It's never a good idea to do that. So it's just going to go around the bottom part here. I thought maybe because it did tell me to tape there that it was going to
shoot across
or something. And it didn't do that, but that's okay. Better to be safe than sorry.
Definitely.
This cracks me up. I literally, I've laughed at that every time I've turned to that page. Just like, okay. All right, so stitching is done. We've heard the fat lady sing. Not that we think our luminaire is fat, but so we're going to remove the tape, which, as we know, it's always fun when it's on felt because, well, it's not fun. Being facetious. It's
take it off. The quicker you take it off, though, the better.
Yeah,
Don't wait. It just gets more sticky.
It just gets stickier the longer it sits in there. It's not a huge issue because it is going to be on the inside, but there we go. There we go. All right. The project can be popped out of the hoop. Now, we are going to turn it to, can you see okay? All right. to the other side. So remember when I said how easy this was to see? That is nice and bright and super easy. And that is my cut line. So if I had straight scissors over here, I would use them, but I'm just going to use these because I didn't plan that far ahead. So I am going to go right on that line. It doesn't have to be exact, all right, but this is what's going to be turned into the inside of the stuffie. So you don't want to have a bunch of excess, but there's no like cutting police or anything that are going to come after you if you've missed the line somewhere or, you know, anything like that. This is just your guideline.
That's a relief. Those cutting police.
Those cutting police are scary, man.
They really are.
They come after you with scissors. No guns.
Sharp ones.
Just sharp scissors, man.
Or dull ones. Maybe that's worse.
Maybe that's worse.
He stab you with dull scissors over and over again.
Their name's Pierce Tart.
Right?
Officer Pierce Tart. Sorry. Okay, almost there. So we get rid of all of that excess.
Think we should take this on the road, Kathy?
Scary, isn't it? All right, so once we have all of that, we're now going to be cutting notches. So when you have these big areas, you need to get in there and remove so that you can get a good turn, right? So again, nice and sharp scissors. Make sure that you can cut into the notches. So the first things that I did on my sample was I went through and did all of the sharp points. So I made sure that I had all of the real good points in there, and I made sure that I had a good turn on all of that. Once you have all of that, how are we doing? We're okay, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll make sure I do this right. If we only had a couple minutes, then I would just skip it. Straight scissors are slightly easier.
I have a little pair over here. You want to try these?
And of course, you do not want to cut into the stitches. So be careful as you're going around. Just with the curves, it's a little bit harder to tell exactly where your tip's at.
Do those help at all?
Maybe. I'll give it a go.
I don't know how sharp
I was
they are
just
at
say
the
it
tip.
depends on. Nope.
Nope, not any better. Too small.
Too small. But thanks for the thought. What I need are like purple ones.
Mm-hmm.
Those would be perfect. So get all of those inner points for sure, and then space around. And Karen's going to be mad at me. Got little red everything's everywhere. What?
Job security.
It is job security. That's right. I'm just helping her out. Do 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 do. Coming around. Almost there.
Come here, out when she comes.
Right. But you definitely can tell the difference if you skip this part, so I don't recommend skipping it. All right, I think we got enough. Once you have the notches, you're gonna take whatever you've decided to stuff it with. At this point, if you are putting in your heavy base, so if you want something that's going to give it a weight, that is what these guys are. So this is your poly beads. You can buy these lots of places, craft stores, Hobby Lobbies, whatnot. When I purchase them, I've got don't.
Karen said she's good with job security. She was watching.
All right, so you're just going to slide that in because it's much easier to do that now than it is when you have a fold over top that you can't easily get that bag in there. Notice I didn't open the bag. All right, we're not putting loose ones in there that are going to go everywhere. I'm just putting the whole bag in there, except for I don't want to do that yet. I want to turn it first. Let's see, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, she's so excited.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
This is the cutest damn thing.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I just want to stuff it. So I'm going to turn it and then I'm going to take my tool. With felt, do not push hard.
Right.
It is so easy to push hold into felt. So I am going to push, but I'm literally just guiding it. I am not applying pressure. I am literally just guiding that around. And again, if you did not do your notches well, you're not going to get a good turn. So if you're getting a spot that says, that doesn't look so hot, turn it back and make some more notches. That's what happened. But be really gentle as you are pushing. Once you have that, then you're going to put that in there.
That makes sense.
So sorry. I just got excited.
Because you haven't flipped the top over yet.
I haven't flipped the top over
so you don't
yet.
have to come up and over.
Exactly. So once I flip
darn
this
mountain
portion, I know. So once you have that in there, we're going to basically have a fold that comes right over the top there. And then it would be very hard to get that in there because that fold is not going to be as large. So, or the opening will be much
Plus
smaller.
Stretching, right?
And exactly. And we don't want felt also stretches very easily. And you don't want to mel shape your poor Santa. We don't want him to be fatter than he needs to be. So we're going to then flip the top portion over. And again, I don't want that hat to have a hole in it, but I of course want that white to be out. So I'm just going to really gently push on my seam and get that out there. I said I was going to test out velveteen. Velveteen also pops seams. I was going to, in case anybody is contemplating that as well, I plan to back it with fusible backing before I start so that it doesn't give quite as easily.
Because we learned that already.
We learned that on that peppermint pillow a year ago. Almost there. Just being gentle. I don't want to lose Santa. God bless.
Thank you.
All right, so we can see the circle come forward. Oh, so sorry. The circle is all out now, and so his hat is pretty much complete. Again, I can run my turning tool along the seam just to make sure that it's all out, but you can see that that is a much smaller area to work with. But I can certainly put in fiber fill, little pieces of batting, whatever it is that you want to make them
Just
stuffed with, okay? So that is our little Santa. And I can still get into that base if I want my beads to be a little bit flatter so that I have an actual flat base. I can do that and then fill that up so that he'll stand up instead of, I know you can't see that so much, but you can make it so that they'll stand a little bit more so that they're not leaning on something versus
like
just
if it
a
was
weighted
flat.
piece that would need to lean on something to stand up. So it depends on how you're doing it. I said I didn't open the bag. You certainly can open the bag if you want.
Right.
I'm not telling you you can't open the bag, but that is...
Yep. Or put it in a slightly bigger bag so that you
so
can
that
make
they
it
can squish around a little bit more, or put more air in the bag that's there. You know, open it and loosen the bag up a little bit so that it wiggles. But is that little guy not adorable?
He is very, very cute.
I am just absolutely tickled. I was not sure about these because I hadn't really done them before. So after I stitched it, I was just like, I want to make 1 million of these. I don't know what the heck I would do with them, but they are just so darn cute. I was very, very pleased with how well it's stitched, how easy it's stitched, and like I said, I am great view. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yep. You're gonna get little red fuzzies all over that.
That's all right. I'm sure it won't be the first and only fuzzies that end up on this particular project.
Look at how
while we're
organized
doing
you
it.
are.
Well, I mean, there we go.
Okay. Got most of that in there. There you go. All right. So, for any of you who are already joining us in our block of the month, this is what we have so far. So these are the fabrics. They are not cut in any sizes as of, we don't know exactly where they're going to go in the project yet. But and Santa can go right there. No, I'm just kidding.
You can, right?
Ta-da!
But yeah, we know a bunch of you guys have already
Signed up.
and we didn't have any of the fabrics
Right.
really when
We
you
only
signed
had
up.
like we knew this one, and we didn't get the outside fabric yet, right? This is the only one we
have not
absolutely
gotten the
knew.
border yet.
This was the
Yes.
only one we absolutely knew we were going to use, and we had in the original picture. This is the only one.
Yep.
So we have come a long way.
Yes, the fabrics are. It's super exciting when we start seeing the fabrics to come in. She got her kit. Sandy Smith did. That's what that says. Big shout out to Hayden.
Hayden is our shipping man. He's right on top of that. He
Mm-hmm.
does a fantastic job. So.
Yeah, he did. But we're super excited to get started on this particular project.
We'll get some of the blocks prepped and figured out because we've got that's coming right around the corner.
I know
too.
it's going to be here. We have a lot to do in this last quarter here. So much stuff. We're not a month into the last quarter is already done. So
Yeah, well, when you take vacation, it goes
know.
by so much faster.
it does.
And as much as I like vacation, coming back from vacation's not so fun.
No, it's hard.
It is. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it's worth going or not. I haven't figured it out yet. I'll let you know.
It's definitely worth going.
But do you like?
Oh, it's pretty. Yeah.
That's from Yellowstone.
Very nice.
Jeffy
Very
bought
much
it for me.
Your color.
Yeah. He bought me a purple one too.
Nice. Sounds
Yep.
like you guys had a good time.
We did. It was,
Did you?
I don't know what I expected at Yellowstone.
Mhm.
I mean, I've seen pictures of Old Faithful, so I mean, I had kind of a
Right.
little bit in mind of, what, but even that was a little different than what I expected. It was just like, they have like a outdoor theater. There's all these benches. You just sit and wait. It's like, okay.
Oh, that's funny.
But we had a great time, and it was, Yellowstone was absolutely stunning. I mean, it just, the things that Mother Nature does it's just crazy.
Yeah. And so you did not go up north?
We went
To
from
the UP?
Arizona. Nope, that's how we came home.
Okay.
So we went to Arizona first. So went down through St. Louis, Texas to Flagstaff. From Flagstaff, we went up through Salt Lake City, and then I stopped at Kimberbell. So I met Natalie, which was fun. We visited for about an hour, and then Jeff picked me up, and we took off and went to West Yellowstone and stayed in West Yellowstone, and then went into Yellowstone the next day. And drove through the whole, went in the west entrance and came out the east entrance. The north entrance is still closed, so we decided that we would just stay out of that area.
Yeah.
So we did that whole lower section, and it was just absolutely, I took so many pictures. I mean, a lot of them are like 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all pretty much the same,
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to get the perfect one. But yeah, it was great. And then coming out of the west entrance, we went through Montana, Wisconsin, and then we stayed just inside the Michigan border at Ironwood,
Okay.
and then drove through Marquette and Munising, and then we hit Mackinac City at sunset, which was we couldn't have timed it better.
So you stayed on this side of the snowstorm.
We did not hit snow. We had snow on the ground, but we didn't actually get snowed on
That's
anywhere.
good.
We had absolutely beautiful weather. Couple of rain spots driving, but I mean, we didn't have bad weather anywhere.
That's awesome.
It was absolutely beautiful everywhere. You know, I mean, when we were at Yellowstone, it was like 65 and sunny
Perfect.
and beautiful blue sky. So I mean, all my pictures are gorgeous. It was great.
Good.
And neither of us had ever been past Mackinac City. So you know, got to see
There's so much
the upper
pretty
peninsula,
stuff up.
and
Yeah.
it was beautiful up there. And like I said, we hit the bridge right at sunset, so my pictures are again just beautiful. Different blue sky because it was kind of gray.
Yeah.
But you know, sunset was not gray. Obviously, it was
Right,
very very
right.
nice, and so I have really, it was a great vacation. I mean, it
Good.
couldn't have asked for better weather. Not too hot, not too cold. You know, the whole was great.
Sometimes
So
you get lucky.
we surely did. I mean, last year it snowed, so
Right, right.
there was snow on the ground in Flagstaff when we went all the way up to the mountain. They have a gondola ride that you can take all the way up to the top. And so that's 11,500 feet up at the top of the mountain there. And so we took that up, and it was very cold up there. Very cold, very windy, very cold, and there was snow, lots of snow up there. But we chose to do that.
Right. It wasn't a surprise.
And we knew that, I mean, you could obviously see, you know, that there was the snow up there, but it was beautiful, and the pictures from up there are just stunning. It's really, really cool. So,
Yeah.
yep, it was kind of funny driving through the UP where the sun was at. There was no snow, and where the sun, you know, like the trees where there was snow. No snow. You know, it was like lots of snow and no snow. It's very, very funny you could obviously see where the sun hit and where the sun never gets to, because
Yeah.
the amount of snow piled up was entertaining.
Yes.
But yeah, they got quite a bit.
Yeah.
Over a foot in a lot of areas. But we missed that. That happened before we got there. And
Good.
all of the roads were clear. We
Yeah.
didn't have any issues at
Well,
all.
it's not like it's us.
Well, they know how to handle it.
I was gonna
too,
say it's
so-
not their first snowfall.
No,
so.
not their first rodeo by any stretch.
Right.
So, yeah, it was a great trip.
Well, I'm glad
You
you're
got
back.
all the weather problems, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, it just hit you before, so you got lucky. I mean, and we got out before it, so I mean, luckily for us, we were not in the hurricane. We just had to leave a little early.
Leave a little bit early, but
That's all right.
fortunately you were safe and got home without any issues.
That's
so.
right.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, and we made it home at about 12:30 Friday night. So we had Saturday and Sunday to try to reacclimate at home, but
it's not going so well.
I just can't seem to shake the time.
Yeah.
I'll get there, but it's it's not going real well.
I feel like you said that when the last time you came back from Arizona, from visiting
I
Sam,
know,
that it
it's-
was tough coming back.
My body just doesn't like to do that.
Well, I kind of feel like maybe that's more your time zone anyways. So
I seem
you
to
are
work better in that.
Yeah, up
and
later.
So my body doesn't like to be told to switch back.
Yeah.
But
I used to say that about California time. I always felt like I was on California time. Like I'm getting up earlier, and this would work out better for me. But
yep,
such is life, right? We live here in Michigan.
we live here. So, but yeah, it was really nice, and had great memories. Had a great time with Samantha. We took them up to the top of the mountain they'd never done that.
Oh,
So
yeah, they
they
haven't-
hadn't done the
The
gondola.
touristy stuff.
They've done lots of touristy stuff, but just not that particular.
particular thing.
She didn't even know about the gondola ride until about a month before we came. So that was a new thing for her. So
Awesome.
that was fun.
Yeah.
It was, nice to be able to take them on something they hadn't
Hadn't
done.
done before,
So
right.
that was really nice, and enjoyed that. So it was very cool. But ready to knuckle down and get back into
Yeah.
it and figure out how the heck to get everything done we're going to get done.
That's right. If you come into the
So-
store and Lisa and I have zero idea what day it is, what time it is, or who
You
we
now
are,
understand why.
you know why.
So when you call me Sarah and her Lisa and we both just answer, it's because we still don't know what's going on.
We're super confused.
We're super confused still too.
Oh,
But
yes.
yeah,
It'll
so-
be a fun next few weeks, and hopefully we'll see you next week. We will not be live. because you
I'll be
have
teaching.
a class. Yep,
Yep.
she has a class. So
Yep.
we won't be live again until the week before the Sewing Expo. So not next week, but the week after. But we'll be playing something. We just won't be live.
And depending on how things go, maybe we can even record something new. It just won't be a live. It doesn't mean it'll be a rerun. We haven't gotten that far yet, but
right.
we'll figure
We'll just
that
talk
out.
to ourselves and then play it.
We do that sometimes. You should totally hear us. We're very entertaining, even not live.
Yes.
You should hear us sometimes.
It
which
is. Never know what might happen. All right, guys.
You don't. So thank you so much for tuning in.
yes.
We appreciate it. Thanks
We'll
for spending an
see
hour with us.
Some of you tomorrow
And,
morning.
we will be back
tomorrow
tomorrow
afternoon.
morning and stitching all over again. We'll be making that adorable bag, and I will figure out what those thumbtacks are for.
Yeah.
All right. We'll
All
see you then.
right.
Bye, guys.
Bye. I gotta find the book. Hey, here it is. Bye.
Bye.